Joel, first off, I should ask, how many times you as a crew member, how many times do you get interviewed?
Not very often, honestly. But this is probably like the fourth time today. Had one during the race, yeah. And then a few in victory lane, and then in there. But yeah.
So take me through that last pit stop. Everyone's kind of crowning you as the champion of that pit stop, being the Jackman and doing that technique. Describe what happened, the pressure going into that last pit stop.
I mean, it's definitely our entire pit crew. It's our entire squad. I mean, it takes so many people to execute a pit stop perfectly. So when it comes down, like our crew, we want a situation like that. Like that's the best, most high stressful situation you can be in a race, and that's exactly like what we live for and what we train for. So when the caution came out at 3 to go, it was nothing but silence and confidence with us. We're like, all right, it's time to go do our jobs. Everybody's gonna do their part, and it was very calm, very like we're like, all right, this is what we live for. This is exactly why we're here. So it was just a great feeling, and every one of our guys executed. I can't believe we did it. I can't believe we got that opportunity. Like it's such a perfect opportunity. That's what you live for as a pit crew member. It's like the money stop right there with 3 to go. You spin them out in first, and that's it. But it takes every single one of our guys. I'm so proud of them. So it was really cool to win that with all of them.
The jubilation, we see so many videos of crew guys celebrating when you see your driver pull out in front of everyone else. Describe that emotion when you saw the 11 in front of everyone coming off pit road.
It's just, you just lose it, especially in that scenario, because that's likely going to be the win. Yeah, I can't describe it anyway. You just absolutely lose it. And then the races are never over till it's over. NASCAR is a wild sport, but as far as just that pit stop, like we did our job. We put it back in the driver's hands, and we gave them the best chance at winning. So that's, at the moment, we were extremely happy. And then for the restart, you're just holding on. You're like, please just get it. Please just get it. Because we've also been in so many scenarios where he's in first, and like I said, NASCAR it's a crazy world. So you're celebrating hard, and then you realize there's still a little bit of race to go. But this one is luckily it's Darlington, and we had 3 laps to go. So
there has been some talk. Obviously, Denny put out his podcast about the technique, about the jack technique, and moving it around the car. Can you describe how you guys learned that, and how long ago did you learn it, and how long did it take to perfect it?
It took, I'd say every bit of the off season, but NASCAR like pit road is a place where Murphy's Law is like very real, and it's just forever evolving. Like, okay, you could do it out in you can do it out of practice a million times, you're good. Then you get to pit road, and it's just like bullets start flying. There's cars flying by, brake dust is introduced, heat's introduced. You can't hear anything. Like, just the whole world gets turned upside down. So it's like to do it in that atmosphere, and then take your top drivers, take the entire race on the line, and then you're like, this is going to come down to you. Like, the amount of pressure it is, but it just takes it. Like, some people either run from it, or some crews, like, they're just salivating at it. So our crew, like, we're so hungry for moments like that. That is why we show up. That's why we're here. So, but to execute a move like that, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of practice in big situations as well. So it's still evolving. It's still not perfect, but working at it every day, every weekend, every day of practice. It just, the answer of like how long it takes, it's still unknown. It takes a while, but yeah. So it's taken an off season and this entire season so far.
I'm assuming. Were you an athlete before you got into a pit crew?
Yeah, I played football, and then I played in the NFL for 2.5 years. Yeah.
So, I talked to Chris Gabehart beforehand. We heard from him, and he talked about how difficult it is to transition you guys over from playing a sport where it's a very full contact sport into where you're not really doing a whole lot of contact with each other at all. It's just more technical.
Yeah.
How difficult was that to do that transition?
It's hard. You kind of need to humble yourself when you walk in, because you're obviously a gifted athlete. Okay, you can run faster, jump higher, all this stuff, but you're introduced into a world where it's a skill. I always compare it, and I don't play golf or baseball, but I compare it to that where it's way more of a skill, like where it's almost like you can't judge anyone off their looks. Like, this is more of a skill where this guy's got the fastest hands, and he may not look the part, but it's like he can do something like in a tenth of a second. So when you walk in the building, for the first time I was there, I came in pretty humble, but you're kind of looking around, and you're like, oh, I think I can like beat these guys and your normal thing, but you have no idea of this world. So you get there, and it humbles you quick. This is like metal and steel, and you know what I mean? You can't just muscle your way around this. You have to really learn the skill. So you almost have to put your athleticism I'd say on the back burner for a little bit, really slow it down, really like learn the mechanics and everything, learn how to repeat those mechanics 1,000 times. And then kind of when you've forgotten your athletic ability, you kind of turn it back on once you're like, you can replicate this motion so many times, and then you can go like, hey, wait, I can run this fast, I can jump this high, and then turn that on, and you become, kind of more of a finished product. But that was the way I approached it. You want to come in, be humble, be hungry, and just learn as much as you can. So that's what I did, and it's worked out thus far.
Finally, how do you guys celebrate tonight?
How do we celebrate tonight? Honestly, I think we celebrate. That's about it. We got to drive home, and the thing about our team, we smell the roses for a pretty finite amount of time. Tomorrow, this is over, and we're on to Bristol, and we're ready to get that. Yeah, I love that about our team, though. It's just like, this is awesome. I'm gonna celebrate this win. Today is about this win, but Monday, Tuesday, it's everybody's back to work, and this doesn't help you much next week, does it? Like. So we gotta attack next week, and that's how we've been attacking the past 3 years. We've been working together on Denny's car, and that's how we stayed successul. So we're not gonna change that up next week. Yep.
Thank you for your time.
Of course.
Appreciate it.
So a shocking amount of positive talk about the Joe Gibbs racing team as a whole this week was the pit crew and the Jackman and the methods and stuff, and we saw that full force with Denny getting off the pit road there. Just behind the scenes, what goes into the Joe Gibbs pit crew training to make these guys so good in these moments like this?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I wish that didn't get as much hype as it did, but because you said it, what it takes to gain an advantage in any part of this sport now is so hard to do. And I don't like all that hype around the situation, but it happened, and we got some things we need to work on to kind of make sure we don't give stuff away. But the way it worked out for today was awesome.
Yeah.
Because what it did was spotlight an incredibly special group of people in that pit crew and that team. That's not easy to do. And to come in third and go out first, and the tenaciousness of that group, and the excitement to embrace the moment, not cave under it, is special. It's awesome. Super glad for that group and the pit coaching staff. I mean, you said it. 2.5 years ago, 2.25 years ago, if I'd have had to take this job, the first place I would have had to run was the pit department. And I've told them that. I've told the pit crews that. I've told the pit coaches that. I've told the ownership that. And thankfully, in just 2.5 years, we've taken it from the first place I would have had to run to the last place. And that's a testament to everybody's hard work in that pit department.
Yeah, and we also seen the NFL Combine, and NFL scouts coming to get hey, there's NASCAR here. So just what are you guys looking for in developing these guys? They're athletes in their own right, but playing a sport and doing this is completely different. So the transition from changing tires to maybe jacking up a car is different than throwing a football or tackling somebody.
100%. That's what I love about our sport, and to be honest with you, I hate it about our sport, is it's so hard to articulate to John Doe how hard it is to do, because everybody's went out in the backyard and thrown a football or caught a pass or hit a baseball, or the masses can do that. So when they watch it on a Sunday, they know how hard that is. It's hard to relate to just how hard this is to do and achieve, and so it's difficult for people to understand just how special what they watch there, the 11 pit crew was able to do, is to pull off. And it's a huge part of our sport, but that's the same in every job, whether it be the engineers, the crew chiefs, the mechanics, the spotters, the drivers. Just like any other sport, these are professionals, and they make it look easy, but it's incredibly difficult, and I'm proud of them for that today.
This is Custom Patch Hats. But what makes us custom? Well, that actually begins with you. We're just bringing your unique vision to life. No knockoffs, no lookalikes. Your design is one of a kind. We know hats, we know design, and we know quality. The proof? It's in our production. Hand-stitched with precision and care, with brands you know and trust. A one-of-a-kind patch deserves a one-of-a-kind treatment, all the way to your doorstep. It's how we keep it custom.
Steven Stump of FrontStretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.